Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, we'll give you updates from the terror attack in New York and what our nation's leaders have to say.
And later, we'll show you how one UI faculty member is looking to change the world of dentistry.
I take a closer look at how the Iowa football team is preparing for another home game this upcoming Saturday. And I also preview the Iowa wrestling team's wrestle-off being held at Carver this weekend.
The National Weather Service has created a new snow warning. Find out more on weather.
All that and more coming right up.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Iowan TV starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to our Wednesday morning edition of Daily Iowa TV. I'm Bo Bowman.
And I'm Mackenzie Cooper.
An act of terror. That's what the New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio called it yesterday when a driver deliberately drove a truck on a Manhattan bike path, killing 8 people and injuring 11.
As of last night, the suspect has been identified as a 29-year-old Uzbekistan native who, according to witnesses, yelled out "Glory to God" in Arabic. Investigators later found written by the suspect claiming that he did it in the name of ISIS.
President Trump released a series of tweets condemning this as an act of terrorism. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo sent this out as one of his own tweets, all of which reaffirming that the city and state would not be deterred.
For more on this, please stick with the Daily Iowan and Daily Iowan TV as the story developed further.
While the state of New York dealt with an internal conflict, the Senate was investigating an external one. Representatives from Facebook, Google, and Twitter testified in front of Congress as part of the investigation on Russia's influence in the 2016 presidential election. This is in response to the spreading of misinformation by Russians on platforms to millions of users. The hearings gave the companies a chance to explain 3 things: how it happened, how they responded, and how they will make sure it doesn't happen again. This hearing, along with today's, will determine if new legislation will be needed that would force tech companies to disclose information about political ads sold and distributed on their networks.
Google Docs is a feature that lets people with Google accounts write, edit, and share things they've written with other Google users. That is, until Google started to freeze online files at random. On October 31st, people all over tweeted at Google that they had been locked out of the files they were typing. Anyone who was locked out received an error message from Google that said they had violated the terms of service agreement. A Google employee tweeted out that the Google Docs team was looking into the matter, and as of now, the user should have full access to their projects.
Yesterday, the University of Iowa Society of Physics Club held a Halloween-themed bake sale to raise money for their club's upcoming events. Something interesting about the bake sale was that none of the baked goods had a set price. The club members would ask the purchaser how much they thought the item was worth, and the purchaser then had the opportunity to barter for the cheapest price. According to the club members, the bake sale was a success due to the unique bartering and selling method employed by the club.
Fall weather is here, and that means that leaves are falling down. Citizens of Iowa City are encouraged to take advantage of the Iowa City leaf vacuuming service to have your pesky leaves removed. Rake leaves into a pile on the city right-of-way area in front of your house. The piles can't be further than 5 feet back from the curb, or the hose can't reach them. On Wednesday, November 1st, the service will be completing Zone 6, entering Zone 7, and maybe entering Zone 1. For updates on where the vacuum will be heading, follow City of Iowa City's Twitter or check on their website at icgov.org/leafvacuum.
Well, it may be fall weather, but it has been a little chillier than normal.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I brought out my winter coat. Well, let's toss it over to Joe in the weather studio to get an update on Iowa City weather.
Yeah, guys. With the weather out there and Halloween being right behind us, we better start preparing for winter. This winter, though, several National Weather Service officers are going to begin to issue different snow squall warnings. Snow squalls are snowstorms that contain a brief but intense snowfall that drop visibility dramatically. The image behind me is also a time lapse of a snow squall over just 8 minutes. These snow squalls change to poor weather condition can lead to dangerous travel conditions. Behind me is also the aftermath of a snow squall. This is a 30-car pileup on Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania. A snow squall warning will be issued when the conditions warrant by several National Weather Service officers, starting in early January. And this afternoon, as we move on to Iowa City weather, we'll look at mostly cloudy skies with a chance of a little bit of rain today with a high of 51 degrees. As we move into the evening hours, we're going to see a few showers tonight with temperatures dropping down to about 45 degrees. Now let's look at our extended forecast. Thursday we'll have a cloudy day with temperatures reaching a high of 55 degrees. For the most part, this coming weekend is going to be a cloudy and rainy. Friday we'll see partly cloudy skies with temperatures reaching up in the low 50s. Saturday expect to see some rain showers out there with a high in the 50s and mid winds. Expect that to feel a lot colder than it really is though. Sunday expect some thunderstorms with highs reaching in the 60s. And guys, that's your weather for the week. Back to you.
Thanks, Joe. A major achievement of the University of Iowa is the ability to deliver groundbreaking work with the College of Medicine. One specific faculty member is making interesting headway with bone regeneration in the field of dentistry.
DITV reporter Christopher Cervantes reports with more.
The University of Iowa's dentistry department has been making headway in their latest research endeavor. The ongoing work is being spearheaded by Dr. Satish Elangovan, an associate professor at the School of Dentistry.
So I have three main domains of research that I'm interested in, that I'm currently pursuing here. The first one is the tissue engineering domain.
A graduate of Harvard University, Dr. Elangovan has worked with others at the university in order to study biomaterials and tissue engineering, a route of research and study that has given him a goal that he is eager to meet.
Our goal in this domain is to develop biomaterials that deliver genes and also deliver RNA of growth factors that promotes bone regeneration.
While this research may still be in its beginning stages, Dr. Elangovan has talked greatly about his collaborators. Throughout the various trials and tribulations, he has had the support of those around him.
One thing I would like to stress here is the collaborative spirit in Iowa. The collaborative spirit is what drew me here when I applied.
With his work ever growing, Dr. Elangovan and his colleagues have both the university's spotlight and its support. Reporting from downtown Iowa City, this is Christopher Cervantes, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, Iowa football is back at home this weekend, and they have a tough matchup. Let's toss it over to Lucy in the sports studio to see what we can expect.
Yeah, thanks, Kenzie. This Saturday, the Hawks welcome into Kinnick their second top 10 opponent of the year. Last night, the College Football Selection Committee ranked the Ohio State Buckeyes number 6, and so far they've only lost to the number 5 ranked team, the Oklahoma Sooners. Last week when they took down the number 2 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions, who Iowa lost to earlier this season. Here's what the Hawks had to say about the Buckeyes.
It's big. We all know it's big. We prepare. You know, we had 2 good practices so far, and we know the atmosphere is going to be electric. We know our fans are going to be, you know, like they're going to bring it, you know, and we just got to give them something to cheer for.
They do a lot of good things on defense, and you know, a lot of different looks and stuff. So it's always tough to prepare for a team that does so many different things like them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're well coached. They're good at disguising coverages, blitzes, things like that. So we're gonna have to be on our game as far as understanding what they're trying to do to us.
I mean, it's awesome to be coming as an underdog. You know, not a lot of people believe in you. That's totally fine. You know, you're coming in, you're going to have to play 100%. You're going to have to, you know, decrease the mental errors and decrease any errors in your game if you want to have a chance. So I think we're going to have to be at the top of our game to be able to, you know, come out with a victory in this game.
You can expect just a great football team to go against. And this team is really no different. They've been one of the premier programs in college football. Go back to the 80s. They've had outstanding players, outstanding coaches, and this team certainly is very, very fits that description. So, you know, we faced another big challenge. I think, you know, it's something we've had experience with, certainly playing Penn State early in the year, Michigan last year, and really the commonality is that it's going to take our absolute best football to have a chance to compete against these guys.
Mary Kate Harrion and Zach Mackey will have more on the matchup Friday during their pregame show. Although the Iowa wrestling team will not officially kick off their season until November 17th, fans will have a preview of what the season will hold this upcoming weekend. This Thursday through Saturday, the team will host the Wrestle-Offs at Dan Gable Wrestling Complex inside Carver Hawkeye. The 3-day inter-squad meet will feature 21 matches beginning Thursday afternoon at 3:30. There will be 8 semifinal matches that will take place starting at 3:30 on Friday, and there will be 10 finals matches for each weight class beginning at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. Admission is free for all fans, and attending would be a great way to get out and show support early on for the Hawkeyes. And hopefully this team will be ready to get out on the mats November 17th for the duels. And although some Iowa sports have drawn to a close this fall season, the volleyball team is still in full swing. The Hawks traveled to Michigan this past weekend to take on the Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans. On Friday night, the team lost a heartbreaking match 0-3 in Ann Arbor and looked to quickly bounce back, knowing they would be traveling to East Lansing to take on the Spartans the next day. On Saturday, the Hawks looked to come back to Iowa City with at least one win, but they were beat by the Spartans. Michigan State is currently ranked number 10, but the Hawks were still able to squeak out a win in one set. The Hawks lost the match overall 1-3, and Iowa is now 4-8 in the Big Ten. And they'll host both Indiana and Purdue this upcoming weekend back here in Carver Hawkeye. The team has been preparing all week to bounce back from those 2 losses last weekend in order to come out and be ready for Purdue, who's ranked number 22. But that's it for me in the sports studio, but be sure to tune in tomorrow morning for the second courtside show of the season, hosted by Mary-Kate Harrion and Zach Mackey. And they'll have predictions for how the Hawks will do as they host Belmont Abbey College here at Carver. Guys, back to you.
Each Wednesday, we here at the Daily Iowan TV are proud to bring the ICAC Animal of the Week. This is reserved for that one special animal at the Animal Care and Adoption Center who is ready to meet their new family.
Meet Twig, a happy-go-lucky boxer.
Despite being the grandpa of the ICAC family, Twig is still willing to learn commands and tricks.
He likes to be the center of attention and may need some time getting used to other dogs. Cats, however, he will not get along with. Despite this, he gets along with kids of all ages.
However, the ICAC would like to recommend everyone that parents must teach kids proper etiquette around dogs, that they should supervise each initial meeting.
For more information on them and other animals, please visit the ICAC website. Call them at their phone number or just stop by for a visit.
Today is an infamous day for the UI. 26 years ago today, former graduate student Gang Liu killed 4 members of the university faculty and 1 student before committing suicide.
One of the victims was T. Ann Cleary, an associate vice president of academic affairs, for which the T. Ann Cleary Walkway is named after in her memory.
For a more in-depth special report, we urge you to read the front page of the Daily Iowan. And that's a wrap for our Wednesday morning edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out the print edition of the news on stands now. I'm Bo Bowman.
And I'm Mackenzie Cooper. Have a great day, Iowa City.